Kawasaki, go faster. Kawasaki, go faster.
Hiya, welcome back to the channel. So in front of us we have a Kawasaki Z750 and it's got a really nice issue. As you can see, the radiator has been removed and there's a reason for that, and that is to get to this here. As you can see, we have an issue with the exhaust studs, which is going to be loads of fun. And I don't usually film stuff that I do at work, but I thought this could be interesting for the channel. So I, unfortunately for my sins, have to deal with shit like this. I won't say regularly, but not irregularly. And well, I thought showing how I do that, or how I attempt that, could make an interesting video. But my success rate on stuff like this is actually quite high usually. But on this occasion, because I'm filming it for YouTube, it will definitely fuck up. So stay tuned for that. But first, let's have a closer look at what we're actually up against. So as you can see, that stud there, the nut that was on it has now disappeared and the stud is rotting. And if you look at that angle there, that is not holding. And I can't really demonstrate what it's doing because there's no radiator on it and I've disconnected the battery. But these ones sound alright, and then that one's just going and it sounds shit. So hopefully, now the challenge is just to stop this exhaust blowing. I'm not hopefully gonna have to take them all out and get rid of them all, but I'll just have to take probably this one out, see what happens if I get a new stud in there and tighten it up. That's what I'm going to start with, which probably won't work, and then we'll go from there. So let's get on with it. I'm going to start with an air hammer. Just give it. And then a nut that is actually far too big on there, welded into place. Heat this area here without setting anything else on fire. And now we're ready to have a go at taking it out. Now, people will say that this is the wrong method, using an impact gun. But if you're being gentle with an impact gun, you are less likely to snap it than you are doing it by hand, in my experience. Because you can put a hammer through it. Actually moving, believe it or not. You can put a hammer through it and get more torque through it by gently doing this. Then you will be able to by hand. Yes.
I got this thing, gonna tie your tongue.
So now, with that removed nice and carefully, I'm hoping that that's the hardest bit done, but we're not out of the woods yet. I'm hoping that if I put this new stud in here, using the correct stud insertion tool, like that, and then put a new nut onto there, and then just tighten it up as all we normally would do until it is good and tight, which it is pulling that flange nice and close to the cylinder head, and then now it feels tight. So let's just carry on until it doesn't snap about there. And then hopefully that'll be it. Because if we have a closer look, we can see that it has in fact pulled that flange square. Now inside here, there is going to be a gasket, like a ring and a gasket ring in there. Dependent on how long this exhaust has actually been blowing for, it could have burnt that ring away. And if it's done that, then this is going to be loads of fun, because I'm probably going to have to take all of these out, which is going to be fucking mint, and then change the gaskets. So I'm hoping that if I start that up, it's not going to sound shit. So let's try it. So now I have got a bit more work to do, which is going to be similar to what I've already done. So I'm just going to do it off camera and then I'll come back when I'm a bit further along with it. Yes. And with some patience and perseverance, I've actually managed to get all the studs out without even snapping any. So now we can see, if we pull that off, that the gasket is completely burnt away off that one. So I'm going to put new gaskets on it and then put it back together. Obviously, these surfaces want to be as clean as reasonably possible, as do these bits as well. And then these gaskets, which I think are 44mm if I remember rightly, need to be put on here. Now, these are actually a little bit on the fat side for this style, but this should be fine. And now, as if by magic, all these studs have been put in. We should be able to put something like that together. And then now it's all together, when I've finished torquing these up to a preset designated specific torque setting, that should be done. And now, with all those tight, it should sound alright. That's enough of that because there's no radiator on it. That is what it should have sounded like. In actual fact, I did run into another issue which I had to sort out off camera because I was running out of time, but these headers round here had actually got little cracks in them, so I had to pull it all off, weld it up and then put it back together. But I didn't show any of that because, like I said, I was running out of time, and this video was actually more about getting the knackered studs out and what have you than welding up rusty headers. So I'm going to leave it here. Obviously this needs putting back together, which I will do over the next couple of days or something. It needs a lot more work doing on this actually. It needs tyres, brakes, chain and sprocket. It needs a lot of work doing on this, and it needs to be finished in a couple of days. But like I said, I'll put it back together. I'll do that off camera and everything. I'm going to leave the video here. That's enough for that shit. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the usual shit, and I'll see you next time. And jumping forward a day, here it is all back together. We've got new tyres on it, new chain and sprockets, new pads in the front, oil change, a few other bits and bobs, but mainly it doesn't sound absolutely shit anymore. So, anyway, see you next time, bye.